Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols, reaming my body.
Alright guys, Boruto episode 225 review. There's a bunch of stuff that did actually happen in this episode, specifically Sarada actually becoming a Chunin, Kawaki getting packed up in about 5 seconds, and also Boruto plus Mitsuki finally getting Amado away from whatever the hooligans that he was actually kidnapped by. But without further ado, let's get into the actual review. The first thing that I definitely do want to talk about has to be the Sarada versus ChoCho battle, mainly because I personally believe that this right here obviously was the best battle of the Chunin exam so far, and most likely will probably be the best battle of the Chunin exam period after we do actually get to see Tsubaki versus Denki in the next particular episode. Now, coming into this episode, I was absolutely nervous. One of the reasons why I was nervous is because in the actual spoilers that Organic Dinosaur did actually translate, by the way, she translated, she didn't actually add anything. This right here was actual one-to-one translation. The translation in the spoilers essentially said that Sarada and ChoCho were equal. Now, again, I've pretty much said this in almost all of my spoiler videos talking about this particular thing. Sarada and ChoCho being equal makes absolutely no sense, but in this particular episode, it looked exactly how I wanted it to actually look. I wanted it to be somewhat competitive, but I wanted the writers to make it very clear that Sarada is better than ChoCho, and that's exactly what they did. During the first action when Sarada and ChoCho were going at it, Sarada clearly had the upper hand. There was no question about it. In fact, right after Sarada did actually use the lightning style lightning ball jutsu, ChoCho was actually on the floor. Sarada may have possibly ended it right then and there if she didn't necessarily go over and check on ChoCho's well-being. So essentially, my personal point of view, Sarada could have ended this battle in about a solid 2 minutes, 1 minute 30 seconds, something like that, something light. But of course they had to drag it out just for the entertainment of the episode, and that's exactly what they did. Again, I'm super happy with how the Boruto writers actually did handle this, mainly because if they made it seem like Sarada and ChoCho were actually 100% equal, that right there would have been an absolute dilemma. I've said this on the podcast, and I said this on my second channel. If you guys don't necessarily know what those are, the links are going to be in the description down below. But we have a character in Sarada who actually went head to head 1v1 with a Kata organization general. Amado literally had to check his blood pressure when he found out that Boruto actually died, that someone was strong enough to actually beat Boruto. And at that particular time in the Boruto manga, he thought that the only person that could possibly have a chance, not even confirmed to beat him, have a chance, was Sasuke, and Sarada herself took him down. Now, not necessarily saying that she was the only one, but let's keep it a G. She was a big focal point of why Boruto was actually defeated. Now, if she would have actually tied with someone who was literally spending day and night and wasted about 4 or 5 episodes trying to get piped out by a bootleg Zac Efron, I would have been absolutely upset. But they made this very clear again that Sarada had the upper hand, and she could have possibly ended it a lot sooner than what she had actually done. Now, another thing, I'm super happy that Sasuke was there as well. This right here is going to be a very big moment for not only Sasuke but also Sarada as well. What we do understand is that the Chunin exam, in theory, is supposed to be something absolutely huge. Sarada is going to take this memory with her for the rest of her life, not only to when she's a Chunin, not only to when she's a Jonin, but also we're probably going to get this flashback when she possibly becomes the Hokage. This right here will be an absolutely amazing scene to see a flashback with Sasuke at her Chunin exam. Now, of course, I do want to give a huge shout out to ChoCho in this particular episode right here. We got to give a round of applause to the Black Queen Kanochi mainly because she actually did show up and she actually did do her thing. She made a difference. As I said, I wanted to be absolutely close. Some of you guys don't necessarily know this. ChoCho has a special place in my heart, again, because she is a black queen. What she showed in this episode was the actual utilization of the butterfly mode. Of course, she utilized it before, but a lot of people didn't necessarily like those episodes, mainly because it was solely centered around ChoCho. ChoCho was the main character. So because of that, a lot of people didn't necessarily know exactly how strong the butterfly mode actually did make ChoCho. And of course, it was on full display in this particular episode right here. Now, of course, this fight wasn't necessarily as perfect as I wanted it to be. One of the biggest things was that when ChoCho was in her butterfly mode and Sarada did actually use her Shidori, one of the things that they did not make clear was, one, what ChoCho specifically did to stop Sarada from literally Shidoring her heart out. Because it is the butterfly mode, a lot of people don't even really know specifically what it can possibly do. I think that they definitely did take a shortcut right there by actually just blurring everything out, making everything just super bright, and at the end, all we see is the two of them in smoke, and of course, the one that falls actually loses. I think they took a big shortcut right there, but of course, I can't necessarily complain too much, man, because of course, the overall battle, in my personal opinion, was the best battle of the Chunin exam. It's probably going to be the best battle of this Chunin exam. Now, of course, there were some other things that did actually happen in this episode. Kawaki got completely packed up. I can't even say much to defend my guy Kawaki. As you guys know, Kawaki is one of my favorite characters, and of course, there was a very big conversation upon who would actually win, Shinki versus Kawaki. And of course, a lot of people had the idea that Kawaki may have actually been good enough to actually defeat Shinki, just because of the sheer fact that we did actually get to see Boruto push Shinki very, very far back in the other Chunin exam without the scientific technology. But of course, he actually did use scientific technology to beat Shinki in that particular fight. But one of the biggest things that I definitely do have to stress a lot of times when it comes to these side characters is that they also train as well. We see Boruto, we see Kawaki, we see Sarada, we see Mitsuki continually getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and we rarely even stop to think about the fact that Shinki, and even back in the day like Baara, they are continually getting stronger. We've seen that especially in Gaara's case, because at the beginning of Naruto Part 1 to the end of Naruto Part 1, Gaara was completely different. Not only that, Gaara was the first to actually become Kage. He was literally Kage level after the time skip. And of course, Shinki may actually take the same trajectory as well. But regardless, what I will say is that we understand that Kawaki right now is absolutely down bad, but do not root out Kawaki. This man is still going to come back and be absolutely equal to Boruto in the future, my personal opinion, when they actually do fight, man, because we did actually get to see that in the first episode. Now, not only that, Boruto and Mitsuki got Amado out scot-free. Turns out that they were absolutely safe. Now, this right here is very good, but 100%, this right here is just a ploy by the Boruto writers for us to have a lot more trust in Amado. As of right now, I'm pretty sure everybody knows this. Damn near everybody thinks that Amado is extremely suspect. Damn near everybody thinks that Amado is just playing Naruto and Sasuke, and we all think that Amado is going to have his own agenda that he wants to work towards that could potentially put the Hidden Leaf in danger. Now, the Boruto writers threw Amado a bone in this particular episode right here. I definitely do have to point out, it's not necessarily out of the realm of possibilities that Amado completely orchestrated this whole thing by himself and actually did bank on somebody from the Hidden Leaf Village actually trailing him, and it just so happened that it was Boruto and Mitsuki. We cannot rule that out, but as of right now, Amado is good. I don't necessarily think a lot of people are going to be completely swayed from their overall opinions of Amado potentially having some sort of side mission or some sort of side agenda, but as of right now, they're actually trending towards the fact that Amado may actually be 100% loyal. Again, I'm personally not 100% sure, but time will definitely tell. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. I think it was definitely a very good episode. Again, the best episode of the arc so far, and probably will end up being the best episode of the arc, specifically when it comes to Boruto and Mitsuki actually becoming a Chunin and them actually participating in the Chunin exam. I personally don't believe that they're actually going to participate. I think they're going to be too late. I think at the end of the day, it's probably just going to be Sarada as the sole Chunin in Team 7. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. It's been your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.